It is 4 p.m. We're bringing developing news.
And the stories behind the headlines. This is StoryCon. I'm Regina Lay.
I'm Ed Lingao. The headlines of this are: the Independent Commission for Infrastructure recommends the filing of criminal and administrative charges against several former and incumbent government officials. This comes as the ICI submits its interim report on the flood control scandal to the Office of the Ombudsman today. Named were Senators Joel Villanueva, Jingo Estrada, former Public Works Undersecretary Roberto Bernardo, COA Commissioner Mario Lipana, and former legislator Zaldico and Mary Mitzi Uy. The panel says the officials may have violated laws on bribery, corruption, and plunder through a scheme that involves 25 to 30% kickbacks from flood control projects.
No one will be spared in this fight against corruption. Politicians and government officials will be investigated and charged by credible evidence. Those found responsible will face the consequences and held accountable under the rule of law.
Meron ka kay Cheese?
For his part, Villanueva maintains that he has opposed flood control projects from the very beginning and that Senate records will prove his innocence. The senator says he and his lawyers will review the ICI's official referral before filing their response.
President Bongbong Marcos says the government cannot rush the ongoing investigation into corruption. In a press conference while in Malaysia for the ASEAN Summit, he acknowledged that the public's frustration but stressed that due process must be followed to ensure that those involved are properly brought to justice. Marcos also said the political side of the issue is over and that the matter is now under legal process.
I get messages all day, every day. Ikulong mo na yan. Alam naman natin kung sino sila. Ikulong mo na. Kunin mo lahat ng pera nila. Pagbenta mo na yung mga bahay nila, ibalik sa ano. What would then I be accused of if we did that? Isa lang ang chance natin. We cannot waste that opportunity to bring justice to those people, to bring those people to justice, and to bring justice to the Filipino people. So, do you want to get it done quickly, or do you want to get it done right? That's the choice that we have. So, I understand the frustration because we do have a very good idea about who these people are.
Meantime, the president also declined to comment on the Independent Commission for Infrastructure's decision to live stream its hearings, but he said it will not affect the credibility of the inquiry.
We provide them a budget and we allow them to run everything the way they want, to hire the people that they want, and yung mga substantial matters ay nasa sa nila yun.
And here are the other stories you're watching this Wednesday, October 29. 3 air assets linked to resigned Ako Bicol Party List Congressman Zaldico have left the country. Civil Aviation Authority of the Philippines Director General Raul Del Rosario identified these as 2 helicopters that left on August 20 and September 11, and a Gulfstream 350, which left on August 16. Authorities said the Gulfstream jet flew to Singapore while the helicopters were taken to Kota Kinabalu in Malaysia. The aircraft are among 10 air assets connected to coast companies, several of which were supposed to be frozen amid the flood control probe.
All senators have now made public their SAL-Ns, or a statement of assets, liabilities, and net worth. And the latest to submit were Minority Leader Alan Peter Cayetano, who declared net worth of 109 million pesos, Bato de la Rosa at a little over 32 million pesos, and Amy Marcos, who said she was worth around 165 million pesos. So far, Senator Mark Villar, or rather, given that it's Senator Mark Villar who tops the list with the highest net worth at 1.2 billion pesos, while former Senate President Cheese Escudero came in last, declaring a net worth of just a little over 18 million pesos.
President Bongbong Marcos has signed into law the Anti-Pogo Act of 2025, which bans all form of offshore gaming operations in the country. The law bans the establishment, operation, and betting activities related to Pogos, as well as the use or possession of gaming equipment and paraphernalia. All existing licenses issued to POGO operators and service providers have been permanently revoked, and they're required to cease operations immediately.
The camp of former President Rodrigo Duterte has asked the International Criminal Court's appeals chamber to reverse its decision rejecting their jurisdictional challenge. In a document filed before the ICC, the defense team insisted that there is no legal basis for the continuation of proceedings against their client. They also urged the court to order Duterte's immediate and unconditional release. The 80-year-old former Philippine president is, of course, facing charges of crimes against humanity.
And joining us today, Storycon's resident political heckler, Tito Rol Llamas.
Good afternoon. No?
Hindi ka ngayon, hindi ka naka-suit ngayon.
Hindi na ako nakapagpalit.
Parang hindi ka ngayon tunay na heckler kagaya ni Statler and Waldorf.
Mas tunay nga. Tunay, hindi nakasuit.
At naka-off muna ngayon si Philippine Star Editor-in-Chief, aming pamintuan. Ay,
Naka-off?
naka-off. Meron ako nga
Day off ba?
gusto yung maramdaman ng, you wanna know the feeling of being mayaman?
Sige, go. Let's see what you have. Oh, wow! May props kami
Ito
today.
mas bagay sa'yo, Reg. Ito mas bagay sa'yo. Ito.
Flood control. Can you see it? Can you read it?
Ito ba ibigay o babawiin?
Bigay na yan, bigay.
Oy,
Okay.
Did you use taxpayers' money on this?
Dapat nga ganun, no?
Isa nga.
Pera mo ba to? Oh, you see. Flood control project manager.
Pando, Prenup.
Pakita mo, zoom mo kayo dyan.
Saktong-sakto sa...
Ayun.
Saktong-sakto sa kwan ko, attire ko.
Oh, yes. Exactly. Ganun na ganun nga yung,
Diba?
ano,
Saktong-sakto, di ba?
or DPWH engineer. Yun yung itsura nila. Their bomber jacket. Not bomber jacket, but the rain
Mamaya,
jacket.
babalikan ko to. Panto balik pangit, black.
Okay. So,
Di yata makita yung contractor. Lagi ko ako.
Ilapit
Mukha ka
mo ng
naman
konti.
contractor.
Ilapit mo ng konti, eh.
Lagi ko
Ayan.
Up. Yeah. Alam mo, camera tayo yun.
Yan,
Yun pala yun.
yan.
Okay. Nagkalat yan sa Lazada ngayon, eh.
talaga. I bet maraming bumibili for Halloween.
Hindi lang Halloween, ha?
Kasi, tama-tama, I don't have a Halloween costume
Alam mo
yet.
kasi yung mga Pilipino,
Ito na lang ako. Gawing flood control
Gusto mo
project.
yung face mask?
Mas mukha akong flood,
Gusto mo face mask
contractor.
ni dating ombudsman?
Ni dating ombudsman. Bakit ang sure na face
Lagyan mo
mask?
siya ng nunal.
Okay, ang gulo nyo. Okay. We have to talk about a lot of things. Ang daming big news. First of all, we have everyone's SAL ends as far as the upper chamber is concerned. And
Amazing.
Anong amazing? Amazing na meron tayo?
There's-
O amazing na
Amazing,
amazing yung mga laman?
Oo, yung mga senador parang malayo doon sa mga pinangregalo, pinang-contribute sa
But
eleksyon, no?
ang isang indisputable fact is all of our senators are millionaires, if not billionaires, ha? So yung mayayaman ng mga
Sana all.
senators natin.
Sino lang ba yung hindi milyonaryong senador? Si Sagisag lang natin yung hindi milyonaryong senador, eh.
Oo, sa gisag.
Anong nga siya nun?
Saka ako yun.
100,000 lang, eh.
Sinasabuhay niya. Hindi siya kumakain sa Senate
May
noon.
baon siya.
May baon siya. Dahil ang
Nagbabaon
tingin niya,
siya.
pera ng bayan yun. So, dapat magdala sila ng pagkain. Wala
You
rin siyang pork barrel.
You mean to say yun lang yung
Kinakson.
kilala mong hindi millionaire na
Yeah,
senator?
siya lang.
Oh, wow. Matagal na since we've had one.
87 siya.
Oo. But,
Hanggang sinabuhay niya, tapos pumalaw na siya. So wala na. Tapos may senador dyan na nag-contribute sa kampanya ni Digong noong 2016 ng 75 million.
71 million.
71 million. Tapos yung SAL-N niya nun ay
23 million.
23 million.
Oo.
Correct.
So,
Meron
hindi
ding senador dyan, na ang 18 million yung yung kanyang SAL-N, pero nagregalo sa kanyang asawa ng $1 million.
Okay.
Or 58
Of course, we
million.
all know who you're talking about. You're talking
Talaga?
about former SP Cheese
Talaga?
Escudero. So, ito na. We have copies of all of their SAL ends, right? We were able to get a hold of the actual SAL ends. We break down ko lang.
You wanna take a look
Si Ed,
na?
si Ed can show it.
Papindot dun sa ano, ha?
Eject ba ako rito? Para
Hindi, ikaw
kita
pa.
sa likod.
Hindi namin i-eject. Okay. Anong gusto mo makita? Yung kay Senator Cheese?
Let's look at his one kasi yan yung that everyone's talking about right now, and also because of course he declared the lowest sal ends out of everyone.
Okay.
And ang
here we
interesting
go.
thing here is
The poorest member of the Senate. Tumabi ka ng konti dito.
Tabi ka na lang. Just
Parang
move.
inapit ka namin eh. Okay. Ikaw magkomentaryo. Sige.
Okay.
To
So-
Escudero Francis Joseph, of course, nakaredact yung kanyang address. Ang kanyang spouse is si Love
Love Marie
Marie Escudero.
Pwedeng i-zoom in,
Yan.
and what we want to show is here.
The first is real properties.
So he declared 5 real estate properties. Ang interesting thing there is yung mode of acquiring them.
Lahat
He
succession.
declared succession, meaning he inherited them.
Parang
And
wala siyang
therefore, hindi siya kasama sa computation ng total assets. I didn't know that. I didn't know pag in-inherit mo pala yun, hindi pala kasama yun. I
Hindi,
thought,
kasama pa rin yun.
then hindi siya kasama sa
Di ba?
tally.
Pag may minana kang
Hindi,
bilyones,
pero
kasama
look,
pa rin sa ano
hindi
yun.
siya nasama sa tally. 18 million is only covering cash, securities, vehicles.
Dapat covered yun.
Hindi kasama.
Oo, covered dapat
Okay,
yun.
well,
Oh, I don't know.
that's what I'm saying.
You'd also note na in some of the SALNs ng ibang senador, yung mga inherited properties, may valuation din at nakakasama
Correct.
sa computation.
Correct. Kaya nga may fair market value, right?
Mura nung kanyang pa, no?
Yeah.
Saan ka nakakita?
Ano pinakamahal sa kanya
Saan ka
mga
nakakita ng residential?
property?
200,000. Di ba? 13,000. No? Ikaw, nasa lista ka.
I don't know.
Alam mo yung mga property values.
na-redact
Bloomberg ka
kasi.
rin. No, Bloomberg ka rin.
Oh, it's a little
Diba?
bit low for fair market value, I
Diba?
have to say.
Although baka may annex pa to kasi teka.
Hindi, may annex,
Hindi, may
pero
total ka
again,
eh.
Next, sabihin, dito baka may annex to kasi kung tingnan mo lang yung kung tingnan mo lang itong may valuation ng personal properties, 11 plus 1, tapos yung iba 100,000 and the hundreds of thousands na lang. Ay, meron pa lang 4 dito.
yes.
Four, sorry.
I'm telling you, yung computation ng total assets niya only covers cash, securities, and vehicles.
And jewelry.
Hindi sinama yung real estate assets.
Okay.
And I was wondering
11,
why.
15,
That's
16,
pinakamahalaga eh.
17, 18 nga.
Correct.
Tama, ito lang.
If you base it on this, it looks like he doesn't have any real estate properties when in fact he declared 5 real estate properties, pero because the mode of acquiring is succession, hindi sinama sa computation. I don't know if there's a rule around that, pero that seemed a bit
What do you
off to
remember?
me.
Hindi, sa amin kasi every year. Nung nasa cabinet kami, every year, lahat. Properties, no? Dapat lahat. Inherited man o hindi. Property mo na yun eh.
Because it is your asset.
Oh yeah, asset mo na yun eh.
Pag nalipat na sa'yo, it becomes your asset. Whether it was inherited or purchased, it's your asset.
Ang pwedeng i-minus yung mga utang mo.
Yung liabilities.
Yun yung
That is why
pwede
this
mo.
is the net worth.
Oo, pwede mo i-minus yun. Pero nasaan, kailangan kasama rin sa report yan eh.
Yeah.
So, ito parang zero lahat dito.
Oo,
sa
that's why hindi
real
sinama siya
properties.
sa total.
Medyo weird. Yan ang pinakamahalaga eh.
So that's what struck me when I saw this. I was like, oh, pag succession pala, hindi kasama sa computation.
Liliit na nga, hindi pa sinama.
But
Sabay ganun.
in any case,
Sabay ganun eh.
Hindi ako exasperated ah.
hindi naman.
Tapos yung current market value, ano to? 186?
486.
O 486?
Residential. Kaya
486,000.
residential yan. No?
400,
2013, hindi siya
half a
ganun
million lang yung fair market value niya.
Meron nga, 55,000 eh.
Yes. So,
Ano yan, talyer?
parking slot.
Tingin mo, ang talyer, ganun kamura ang ano. Ganun
Oo,
kamura.
talyer ganyan. Diyos ako.
Baka naman
milyon?
in hundreds. Hindi pa in hundreds of thousands.
Ano ko lahat ng milyon?
Hindi ba in hundreds of thousands yan? It's not in hundreds of thousands.
No. It's not.
Okay, so absolute value is still we're looking at. Yes, so it seems there are some
Sayang, hindi ako nakabili
inconsistencies.
ng ganyang lupa at saka...
2013 lang yan, ha?
Ayan nga, sayang nga eh. Oo.
That's not too far away. That's what, 12 years
ago.
away.
O hindi, senador na siya yan. Tapos cabinet secretary na ako niyan. Pero, pareho kami ng salin niyan. Yung panahon na yan. Nakita ko yung salin niya. Yung panahon na yan. 7 million. Parehas kami. Pero ako kasi isang organizer, labor organizer, no, na hindi graduate.
Never
Labor-
naging
labor-
Senate President.
Never nagkaroon ng posisyon
Yes.
sa gobyerno.
So,
Ito, yung jewelry and personal properties, ito malaki-laki,
4.9.
4.9. But is it, do you think it's
Malayo
fair?
yan sa Paraiba.
yes. So, yun nga, that is the question everyone is asking. How could you declare a net worth of 18 million and be able to afford jewelry worth over $1 million, not pesos, dollars,
pwede
right?
naman
So,
sabihin na-
ito na yung value ng SALENS, right? We can correlate
na-
against.
Kinuha ko sa isang kaibigan niya, sinulisit ko, tapos pinackage ko na regalo ko sa asawa ko.
Pwede
So,
rin
wala
naman,
sa-
oo. Pwede rin,
yun, pwede yun, di ba?
pwede rin naman yung excuse na yun.
Hindi sa ginagawa ko yun,
The
ha?
only point that we're trying to make here is mukhang even in the SALENS, there are still
maraming questions. Oo.
For example, with the real estate assets.
Yes.
Why were those not included, right? Pati yung residence niya, yung own residential address, hindi nasama sa total ng total assets niya, sa computation of the total assets.
Some people kasi belittle the importance of the SALEN.
That's what I was wondering. Once you file a SALN, meron ba nag-check
May
niyan?
penalty yan. Kung i-check yan tapos hindi nagja-jibe, no? Doon sa, halimbawa, yung mga properties mo, lalabas na meron ka palang, halimbawa, yung isang senador nakatira sa Forbes Park eh. Tapos nakadeclare niya 70 plus million. Parang hindi naman ganun ang fair market value ng bahay sa Forbes Park. Diba? Tanungin natin si Ed.
Oh yes, he would know.
I
Fair
wouldn't-
market
I wouldn't
value,
know.
nasa billions na
I
tayo,
don't live in
depending
Forbes.
on the size of the house and lot, right?
Oh, alam ko sa kwensya eh. Oh.
So, but whose job is it to double check? Kasi once you file it, people, they must think, no, okay,
it's
tapos na.
it's everybody's job.
Oh,
At the same time,
everybody's
it's nobody's
job.
job. It's
Oh.
nobody's specific job.
Hindi, pero sa
everybody's
But it's-
responsibility.
ombudsman pwede.
Traditionally,
Yeah, pwede mong
traditionally,
pwede.
it's the media who reports on these.
Which is
kaya
why we've
nagiging
always been
issue.
asking for the
Exactly.
SALEN.
Pero yan, isa sa role kasi ng ombudsman, yung SALN na hawak niya. So pwede niya i-check yon. Ang dali lang i-check nun eh. Ako, tatawagan mo LRA, tatanungin mo, ito yung kwan, ito yung pangalan, ito yung asawa, ito yung mga anak, bigyan niyo ako. Ngayon din, ng listahan ng mga properties. Tawagan mo LTO, o kailangan ko ng listahan.
Hindi na
ito yung
kailangan ng
pangalan.
court order yon pag ombudsman.
Hindi kailangan yun. Oh, public document yun. eh.
Correct, yeah.
Diba?
Siya yung may hawak eh. Yung ombudsman.
public
Well, not
document
this
yun.
one. This one kasi centers eh.
Tapos yung AMLA, pwede mong pabuksan yung mga kwan. Ang ombudsman, pwede niyang pabuksan moto proprio.
Correct.
Yung mga bank accounts. Diba?
Oh yes, motu proprio. Tama.
Which also
by the
reminds
way,
me-
I just want to point out this is as of December 31, 2024. So this is very recent, very current, huh? And the
Nakita ko yan sa isang cabinet secretary ni Digong eh. Si Department of Energy. Si
Cusi.
Cusi. Ang
Si
laki ng tinaas niya. From 100 million yata to 1 billion. Kaya inalaska siya ni Digong eh. Bilyonaryo na ito.
Bilyonaryo na.
Oh, mga ganun ba?
Yun na nga ba? That
Walang
is-
nagkukan eh. Walang
Because for a long time, wala nag-check.
yes.
We didn't have access to these things, right?
Ito po, another person of interest for a lot of people is Amy Marcos.
Oh, so
Ang
Senator
total niya is
Marcos.
163 million, I think. 160 plus million. Let's start off with assets. But this one kasi several annexes eh. So what you see here is not the total yet. Pero ito, inheritance niya, walang acquisition
succession
cost.
or inheritance din, yung real estate that she declared. In the end, she declared a net worth of
160
Check ko lang.
something.
160 plus.
160
163, 165.
164,995,000.
Mas mataas pa yung SALN ni Reg.
Migil ka. That's not true, by the way. Fake news. 165 million almost yung total net worth niya.
Wala nga, pati sa ito inheritance wala rin siyang
Kasama na
value.
siya, they did include the computation of the land. So dun sa Annex A, sinama yung computation ng land which is worth 74 million. In calculating the total net
For
worth of
purchases
Senator
lang,
Marquez.
but inheritance hindi niya sasama. Take a look at this
Oo
page.
nga pala, sorry. Correct, purchase.
Ang inheritance blank,
Yes.
purchases
Correct,
meron.
you're right. So, yung mga inherited. So, again, that was my question when I saw this. Pag inherited pa, hindi nakasama? Like, when did
Dapat
that...
kasama.
But it still
That's
is your
why.
asset.
It's your
That's
asset.
why. So, why did these officials not declare it like that?
Impunity.
Oh, okay. Wala na akong sagot. I have no answer to that.
This has
But-
reference to what Ronald was saying kanina, whether the ombudsman can look at it motu proprio. Pirmado to ng nag-file. I hereby authorize the ombudsman to obtain and secure from all appropriate agencies,
I
including the
see.
BIR, such documents that may show my assets, liabilities, net worth,
Yes.
business interests, and financial connections, to include those of my spouse and unmarried children below 18 years old.
Yes. Pero yung previous ombudsman kasi binaliktad yan eh. No? Dahil ang sabi niya, yung public pwedeng i-weaponize ang SALN. No? Yung role ng ombudsman kasi ay i-represent yung public laban sa tao sa gobyerno.
Exactly.
Yung nabaliktad, parang nire-represent niya yung tao sa gobyerno against the public. No? At gumawa siya ng ruling, no? Hindi ko alam kung anong tawag doon, na pwede ka makulong for 5 years.
Yes, if you...
Oh, pag kinriticize mo.
Oo.
Hindi naman really, he was proposing a law. He was proposing that the Congress pass, that was during a congressional hearing. He was proposing that Congress pass a law imposing a 5-year jail term for those who comment on
Comment lang,
SALNs. Why are you looking at me like that?
Tsaka sa COA. Yung COA. Pinapatanggal
So
na
if
niya.
that law passed, I would be jailed by now. For saying that there are question
We'll be
marks.
visiting
But we
you.
will visit you.
For
no?
saying that there are question marks in the
I will bring a
SALN.
lechon in your jail. No?
Yan na naman yung leksyon niya. Ah.
Bakit, is it wrong to question, I mean,
Ano ka ba?
these are public officials,
Saan
right?
kuya pa ka na naman ang galing? Ano ka ba?
All I'm saying is, overdue na tong pag-review ng SALNs. I'm glad the Senate has set an example and we've gotten hold of their SALNs.
Nilabas na kayo sa alin. Gusto mo, accurate pa.
Pero,
But one more note, these SALNs that have been released, these are a snapshot of 1 year. Assuming that they're all correct and accurate, these are a snapshot of only 1 year. Ang importance talaga ng SALN is it's supposed to be a time series data eh.
yun na yung
Meaning,
content.
over a span of several years, you should be able to see whether somebody's getting richer or poorer and kung tumatalo ng kanyang assets.
Andito na yung ating, ating kwan, yung
and
ating guest.
the last thing I wanted to say about that, nawala siya.
Oh.
The last thing I wanted to
Baka
say
di na
about
bumalik
that,
yan. Oh.
with regard to former SP Escudero, SALN, ay, di ba, we were talking about it yesterday, tama nga ako, if there was a prenup in place, the spouse's assets are considered separate. That's why Hart's assets are not declared here.
May prenup sila?
May prenup sila, just like...
Kiko and Sharon.
Yes, correct. That's why Sharon Cuneta's assets were not declared either in this. Meron talagang, I looked it up and there is a ruling around
Para
that.
pag naghiwalay kayo, hindi pwedeng... Hindi na-
Completely separate talaga siya.
hindi pwedeng
Whatever
hatiin
happens. So,
yung property nyo dahil may prenup. Para lang sa ating audience, anong ibig
But
sabihin?
that's still interesting kasi if your assets are only 18 million, gaano kadali for you to gift your spouse with $1 million worth of jewelry in one go?
Ayun na.
Ayan si Sir.
so naman, si Ed, why do you ask questions like
Galing
that?
akong kuweba.
Hindi. Kaya nga,
Okay.
kaya tatanungin ko yung guest natin kung magkano salin niya.
We are going to pivot now. Let's bring in our guest today. We're talking to former Congressman Mike Defensor. Congressman, welcome to Storycon. Thanks for joining us.
Good afternoon, Congressman.
Yes,
sir.
Long time no see. Oo.
Long time no see, Secretary Ronald Ed, and of course, Reggie. Good afternoon to everyone, to all the viewers.
Naalala ko, una ko nakilala si Kong, konsehal to sa Quezon City. Ito yung negotiator namin sa mga rally. Dati, Naalala mo, Kong?
What have you been doing since you stepped down? I mean, apart from organizing with surprise witnesses sa Senate.
Actually, Reg, I've been in the private sector ever since noong Congress. Di ba nag-serve ako noong 2019 to 2022. So from there, talagang completely private yung participation ko. Nagkataon nga, in fact, ayoko nga ma-involve dito sa issue na to, pero nagkataon na ito, lumapit si Sergeant Cotesa, And then he started telling me yung iba-iba, no? Yung mga storya niya, hindi naman direkta kaagad eh. Kung ano ng mga storya ang binabanggit niya. Sabi ko, siguro Sergeant Cotesa, mas maganda, ikaw na yung magkwento ikaw na magsalaysay kay Senator Marcoleta. That time kasi, si Senator Marcoleta was still the chairman of the Blue Ribbon Committee. So, but the day that they spoke, hindi na chairman nun si Sergeant Cotesa. I was with Senator Marcoleta, nag-uusap kami for another issue, another concern. Tapos binanggit ko lang, sabi ko may isang sarhento ng Marines, ganito yung kwento niya. Sabi niya, pero sabi ko sa kanya, hindi ko nakuha yung buong kwento. Maganda siya na lang magsabi sa'yo. Sabi ni Senator Marcoleta, o sige, kung willing siya at kung tingnan mong okay naman, papakinggan ko siya. And then yun nga, sabi ko, sige, titingnan ko. I went to a restaurant, sabi ko, tatawagan ko, pag nagpunta, sumunod ka sa amin doon. So, yun ang nangyari. Nagkwento siya kay Senator Marcoleta, binanggit niya yung mga nangyari. And iba-iba rin, iba-iba yung kwento niya, hindi pa buo eh. Sabi ni Senator Marcoleta, baka pwedeng, mo yan, isulat mo para lang mas maganda yung kabuuan ng salaysay. And we did that, tinulungan ko rin si Sergeant Cotesa, kung ano yung mga binabanggit niya. Tapos yun na, nag-usap sila.
Kung nandun kayo nung ninotarize yung kanyang sinumpaang salaysay?
Yun nga, Roldan, nangyari. Nung kasi may meeting ako that night, sabi ko, mauuna ako. Umalis na si Senator Marcoleta na una. Siguro difference lang within 5 minutes. Umalis na rin ako. Si Senator Marcoleta, sabi niya, baka pwede, Sarge, na ipanotarize mo. Ako pa nga yung nag-react. Sabi ko, ha? Ipapanotarize pa, ano naman yan, i-under oath yan sa Senado. Sabi niya, hindi, gusto ko mas maganda na prepared na maayos talaga, nakanotaryo. So si Sergeant Cotesa ang mag-isang nagpunta sa notaryo. Siya yung talagang nagpunta doon, nagpanotaryo siya, tapos yun nga, kinabukasan, nagpunta na siya ng Senado. In fact, alam mo, maraming variables na pwedeng hindi matuloy eh. Nung tinawagan ko siya, pwedeng hindi siya nagpunta. Nung kinabukasan naman, nung nagpunta siya sa Senado, pwede namang hindi rin siya tumuloy. Pero nagpunta siya doon and sumumpa siya, binanggit niya na nga yung salaysay niya based on what he told us. Hindi ko masabi na hindi pa yun yung kabuo na storya, pero marami siyang kwento doon sa mundo ni Saldico. Doon sa kinabibiglangan at iniikutan ng mundo ni Saldico.
But sir, can I can I just establish one fact, which is hindi niyo siya kilala before. You did not know him before until okay. So you have no idea about his background, how long he allegedly worked for Saldico and all of that.
Well, yung work for Saldico, medyo alam ko dahil binanggit niya.
Hindi. I mean,
Before you met him.
Oh, before you met him.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Actually, Reggie, yung Secretary Ronald and Ed, nagulat ka ako kasi may kaibigan tayo sa media na dating nasa Senate beat. Siya pa yung nagsabi sa akin, alam mo, kilala namin niya si Sergeant Orly kasi nagtrabaho din siya sa Senado. Because nasa sila nandun sila sa VIP, he was assigned somehow dun sa mga VIP security. So marami din siya talagang pinagtrabahuan. But all in a professional level. Ang sabi lang niya sa akin when we were discussing, right after he retired, nagtrabaho siya sa Coke, and then after that kay Saldi na.
Ang
Sir,
tanong
so
ko,
how do you know him?
Follow up lang kanina dyan sa tanong ko, Kong. Sabi niyo
Yes,
kasi siya yung nagpanotarize on his own. Wala siyang kasama. Meron ba siyang capacity to fake a notary, a signature ng isang notary public? Parang ang hirap naman for yung background niya. Parang lalabas ngayon sa next hearing, ay fake yung signature nung notary public, nung nag-notarize. May ganun bang wherewithal ito si Gutesa to do that?
Well, actually, Sec. Ronald, tama yung binanggit mo Unang-una, hindi niya kailangan i-fake, di ba? Dahil kung ano naman sinabi niya dun sa Senate under oath. Pero, dapat talaga tingnan tong notaryo, bakit siya biglang umaatras? Kasi, si Attorney Makalintal, nabasa ko nga yung mismong pinost niya sa kanyang page, gumawa ng petition on the BSKE petition, di ba? Dahil siya yung abogado doon sa eleksyon ng Sangguniang Barangay. And yun din ang notaryo. Tapos maraming kontrata, kasama dito yung sa Department of Tourism, kahit na naman i-research yan sa Google, nandyan, yun din yung nakapirma. So ang sabi ko nga nun kay Senator Marcoleta, imbestigahan nyo itong notaryo. Sinong nag-pressure para umatras at sabihin na hindi to? Assuming. Kasi ano to,
Pero
yung
kung
notaryo,
parang hindi
abogado ng
umatras
BGMP.
Parang yung RTC ang nagsabi na fake yung signature.
Yes.
Upon consultation with NBI.
Actually,
So hindi siya umatras.
I have the ruling here. See, it was Manila RTC Judge Icasiano Sison, she's an executive judge, and who found the notarization falsified or forged. And so they are referring it to the DOJ for appropriate criminal actions. Falsification
Yes.
of a public document.
So
is
hindi
a
siya
criminal
umatras,
charge.
Kong. Oo.
Hindi. Ako, gusto ko maimbestigahan yung notaryo. 1,000% ako. Kasi nung nalaman ko, nung first day pa lang na umatras yung notaryo, pinukuhaan ko ng picture. Sabi ko, tingnan nyo nga, ano ba yung napuntang notaryo ni Sergeant Gotesa? So nakuha namin yung mga pictures. It's an existing notary. Ano pa nga, 24/7 parang 7-Eleven tong notaryo na to. At marami siyang kontrata. Ang tingin ko, Secretary Donald, kay Ed, ang feeling ko dito, sekretarya niya siguro yung naman, like all other notary services, notarial services. Pipirmahan ng tao nila. So sinabi siguro, hindi ko pirma yan. O maaaring totoo, pero notaryo niya yan. Nasa journal yan, may entry yan, at yung seal na yan, totoo lahat yan. And I welcome the investigation. Investigate ng DOJ yan, investigate ng Blue Ribbon Committee. Dahil dyan lalalim ang issue na sila mismo pine-pressure nila si Gotesa, dinidiscredit nila, at sinasabi lang peke itong ito just to prove their point. But it will turn out na 1,000% yan ay notaryong totoo at maraming kontratang na notaryo yan.
You're saying basically that itong notaryo, mukhang gawain niya talaga to na yung pumipirma para sa kanya is somebody else, like a secretary or an admin person.
I don't want to assume it, pero ganun ang nakita ko doon kay Makalintal. Parehong-pareho. Si attorney Espergao,
Espera.
siya mismo, parehong-pareho na signature. Before pa si Makalintal, nakita ko yung document sa TIESA, sa Department of Tourism, si Attorney Espera, same signature. So ang dami talagang ganitong signature. Ngayon, siguro inipit, i-deny mo yan, ayusin mo yan. So yun ang gusto ko malaman. So I really want it investigated para makita sinong nasa likod nito na talagang gusto nilang i-discredit Sergeant Gotesa on a basis of a notary na wala naman immaterial. Because in a way, in effect, nagsalita siya sa Senado, sinabi niya kung ano yung nakita niya, kung ano man yung ninotarize, di ba? Ano naman natin yan when you notarize, it is only to make it a public document. But what Sergeant Gotesa did, taking an oath in front of millions of Filipinos, in front of the Senate Blue Ribbon Committee, under oath, in effect, yun na yun. That is already his sworn statement.
Sir, cambio na ako, sir. Ang importanteng tanong kasi ngayon, nasaan si Gotesa?
Nasaan?
Kasi
Oh,
everybody's looking for him. Parang nobody seems to know where he
Hinihintay
is.
siya sa NBI noon Inaantay siya sa NBI
Okay.
para magsampa ng kaso kay Speaker Martin. Kaya
Yes.
kaya hindi na kasama si Speaker Martin dahil walang kaso, no? So,
Yes.
ang tanong ngayon, nasa na si Gotesa? Bakit hindi natuloy yung schedule niya sa NBI to file the case against Speaker Martin?
Ang nangyari noon na Sec and Ed noon, di ba nung nagulat ako the next day, sabi nila, hindi daw sumupot si Sergeant Gotesa doon sa DOJ. So tinawagan ko kagad si Senator Marcoleta. Sabi ko, ano ba yun? Ba't may schedule sa DOJ? Ang sabi ni Senator Marcoleta, nag-usap kasi sila noon na ipapasok siya sa Witness Protection Program. Sabi ko, okay. Ang nangyari din, part of his statement, sabi niya, I want to be part of the Witness Protection Program. Pero nung hapon, di ba sinabi na niya, ayoko na rin sa Senate custody, I will take care of my own. Ngayon po, si Sergeant Gotesa, and I'm saying this publicly, alam po to ng, I guess maraming may alam nito doon sa Blue Ribbon Committee, ay nasa ilalim po ng Philippine Marines. Nandun po sa kanila. Wala pong nakakapag-usap sa kanya, hindi ko siya pwedeng lapitan, but anytime, if there will be an official summons, ipadala po nila sa Marine Commandant, pinapangalagaan po ng mga kababayang nating sundalo, ng mga Marino, si Sergeant Gotesa nasa kanila po.
Sir, you're saying that the Marines officially have adopted and secured Gotesa. I mean, not just some Marines, but the organization itself, the Philippine Marines.
Yes, kasi yun ang nakuha naming information from the family. Hindi ko siya nakakausap directly. Immediately, nung nawala siya sa Senate, nandun na siya sa Philippine Marines compound. And then yung family nandun siya din, kasama siya nung una. And then later on, siguro dahil iniwalay na nila yung pamilya at itinago nila sa ibang lugar. Pero si Sergeant Gutesa mismo ay nandun sa Philippine Marines. In fact, siguro ngayon ko lang ito makikwenta and you can verify this. Meron nga nahuli yung mga Marines na parang may umaaligid sa kay Sergeant Gutesa. Hindi ko alam yung details of what transpired, of what happened. Pero nahuli ng Marines yung taong yun ay nasa record nila. Hindi ko alam kung papatayin siya, kung intel lang yun, kinikising siya. But there was this incident siguro several days ago.
Kong, ano mangyayari sa testimony ni Sergeant Gutesa? Magpapatuloy ba siyang mag-testify sa Senate Blue Ribbon na mag-o-open November 14? No? Siya yung parang yung signature niya ang lalabas doon na nasasabi na mukhang ang sabi ng RTC at sabi rin ng ibang government agencies nung chinek nila ay fake yun doon sa kanyang affidavit. So, mahalaga na nandun siya para i-contest yun. No?
Yes,
At i-affirm yung kanyang affidavit against Saldico and Speaker Martin Romualdez.
Just to clarify, Sec. Ronald, yung binanggit niya doon sa mismong pagpunta, yung binanggit niya sa Senado is already suffice na affidavit niya. Pero I would think gusto nila talagang mas detalye at baka gusto lang ikabit-kabit yung mga issue. Dahil if you recall, si Alcantara nagsalita din, si Bernardo nagsalita din, dalawang tao yung parating lang binabanggit. Si Mark Teksay at si Paul Estrada. Ito ang dalawang tao ni Saldico na tumatanggap ng pera kung saan-saan at nagdi-deliver din ng pera. Ito yung binanggit naman ni Sarge Gutesa, pati di ba si Yusek Bernardo Alcantara, nagdi-deliver sila ng pera. So, hindi nila pwedeng sabihin na pawalang halimbawa nila o walang katotohanan yung sinabi ni Sergeant Gutesa. Kung gusto nilang i-enhance, ayusin pa, walang problema yon. Ngayon, kung gusto po nilang ipatawag, inuulit ko, hawak ng Philippine Marines si Sergeant Gutesa, doon nila nilang imbitahin o gusto nilang puntahan doon, at doon nila tawagin. Pero alam mo, Sec. Ronald, ang natatawa lang ako dito sa investigasyon, etong tao sa lahat ng naging witness, magmula sa DPWH officials, magmula sa contractors, magmula sa congressmen na nagsalita, si Sergeant Gutesa walang kinalaman sa lahat ng nangyayaring perahan Yung kanya nagdi-deliver ng pera, sinabi niya yung katotohanan.
Okay.
Ang sinabi niya do, bentang tao, ang tao ni Saldico. Di walang tinatawag
Sir.
kahit isa.
Yes.
Si Mark Teksay, si Paul Estrada, consistently minimension. Hanggang ngayon, hindi sinasampina.
Sir.
So dapat sana,
Yeah.
tingnan nila, ano yung katotohanan sinabi nito at malaman natin yung katotohanan. Hindi yung tinitira nila yung affidavit ng isang tao na nagsalita naman sa Senado na pakinggan ng milyon-milyong Pilipino.
Right.
And I
Sir,
think
sir.
that should be the direction of the Blue Ribbon Committee.
Hindi naman, sir, I just want to set the record straight. Hindi naman sa tinitira yung testimony, but of course, we have to fact check as well, right? That is just a basic. That's the
Reg,
first thing to do when somebody accuses somebody of something else. You have to fact check them too. That's to be fair. And secondly, can I just confirm? So, as of today, as we're talking, you're confirming that Gutesa is
In the custody.
within the Philippine Marines compound. Pag chinek namin with the AFP, they will corroborate this.
Yeah. Reg, let me clarify hindi kayo yung sinasabi ko. Ang
No,
sinasabi ko yung Blue Ribbon
I know.
Committee.
Yes.
Yung Blue Ribbon Committee, imbis na kunin nila yung katotohanan, ang ginawa nila is nilalabas nila itong sinasabi lang sa notary na hindi naman sa akin immaterial.
I think that's I have to disagree. I
So-
think it is material because how can we trust him if the notarized document is falsified, right? Doon pa lang nag-fail na.
What
That's the
if
first
the
test.
notary public is doing something wrong? He went there in good faith. Now,
Yes.
number one.
Yeah.
Number two, yung oath niya sa Senate committee stands on its own. Stands on its own. Nag-oath siya, under oath siya. It's a Blue Ribbon Committee, official investigation of the Senate. And yung intent of a notarization is to make the document public. He made it in front of hundreds of
except-
billions of Filipinos.
Right. Right.
So
Except,
yung question ng hindi totoo na, immaterial yun, no lawyer
Right.
will tell you that even the Supreme Court has already decided on the effects of notary on the petition and affidavit
Right,
submitted
correct.
by individuals.
Yes, but again, it speaks to his credibility, right? The Manila
No, it
Regional,
doesn't.
the Manila,
No, it doesn't.
the Manila Regional
Pagka ba
Trial
ikaw
Court.
nagbenta ka ng,
Sir,
no,
sir,
no,
sir,
it doesn't.
wait.
Ed,
The-
I mean, kunyari, nagbenta tayo Ed ng lupa, binentahan mo ko.
Yes.
Pinanotaryo natin in good faith. Pagkatapos nung nagpanotaryo tayo, pineki yung notaryo. Wala tayong magagawa. Is it our fault kung sekretarya ng abogado ng firma?
Right. But the Manila
but
Regional
it cures
Trial
it.
Court.
Now, it cures
Yes.
the situation because he went to the Senate.
Okay.
He
Yes.
gave
Yes.
an under oath
Okay.
statement to the Senate.
Yes. Okay. So, in any case,
Pero-
the point is the Regional Trial Court itself has found that the notarized document, the signature was falsified. So, I'm not quoting any random person here. I'm saying a court found that it was falsified. And there, again, it comes back to him. So let me turn the question around and ask.
if
Let me
it
turn the
was
question
falsified,
around and
it's
ask
not
you.
Gotesa's fault.
Okay. So let
Kasi,
me, sir,
yung
let me.
sinasabi ni Sec Ronald,
Yeah.
Ronald, pineki ba niya yung seal? Pineki niya yung pirma for 250 pesos. Pepekiin
Yes.
ko lahat yun.
Okay.
And then I go to the Senate. Di ba?
Pero
So-
let me turn the question around and ask you. You've only just met this guy. Why are you so convinced he's telling the truth?
Because by all logic, even if I'm congressman now and investigating it, by all logic, yung tao nagpunta dun sa committee namin sa Kongreso, nag-oath. Kahit na nga hindi niya notaryo, legal na yun. So now people are trying to hit his credibility by saying the notary is wrong. Then that is not his fault. Maganda nga, investigahan yung notaryo. So by all logic, by being a Filipino and a nationalist, that you want to solve the flood control problem, what we should look into is the substance of what he's saying. Totoo bang bilyong-bilyong pera ang dinideliver kay Saldico ng mga tao at siya naman ay nagdi-deliver, nire-repack, dinideliver kay Speaker Martin? Totoo ba itong mga sinasabi niya? Ano pa yung nakita niya pinagkakitaan? Because that is the situation. This person, si Sergeant Gutesa, came out dahil nakita nila, nagbaba sa lugar nila. Yung palang dinideliver nilang pera, yung kinukuha nilang pera, dito pala nang gagaling. Yung boss pala nila, involved sa sindikato ng pagkuha ng bilyong-bilyong pera ng kaban ng bayan. Yan ang rason kaya lumabas si Gutesa at lalabas pa yung mga kanyang kasama.
Sir, are you still in touch with Gotesa at this moment? And at the same time, is he officially under the protection of the AFP or just by certain elements of the Philippine Marines?
Ang alam ko, it's Philippine Marines. Nung una akala ko elements, but it's turning out talagang mga Marines, the Philippine Marines itself, not the AFP, the Philippine Marines themselves are the ones protecting him.
He's retired already, di ba? He's no longer in active duty.
Yes. Pero nung parang nakita ko kasi nung nandun siya sa Senado, nung una Witness Protection Program, and then later on he was called, sabi niya hindi na po ako hingi ng protection sa DOJ o sa Senate custody, hindi na po sa Senado. After nung hearing na yon, nagpunta na siya sa Philippine Marines compound.
Mhm. And under what, if you know, under what conditions would he come out to speak again? Only with a formal summons from the ICI or the Senate Blue Ribbon?
Yung last message relayed to us by yung connection lang namin, I don't talk to him directly. Pag may official summons by the NBI, by the DOJ, or the Senate committee, he will go and he will cooperate.
Ano yung kasi kung yung mahalaga yung testimony niya i-deconstruct. Paano once lang siya dumalo di ba? So mahalaga na yung kanyang testimony ay dumaan sa due diligence at saka scrutiny, no? Dahil for now, yung isa kasi kaya na ma-maximize yung usapin ng notary public dahil hindi nga siya nakita na.
Yes.
Dapat sasagot siya diyan di ba? Dapat magsasampa siya ng kaso dahil batay sa kanyang testimony, meron nangyaring krimen. So, yun yung
these are
yun yung
serious
mahalaga
charges that he made.
dahil bigla siya nawala. Tapos kaya maraming pumapasok na mga suspicions, no? Dahil whether whether sinasabi nyo immaterial yung usapin ng Northern Republic, the fact remains na pag nag-falsify ka ng document, kung sakaling nag-falsify siya, pwede kang,
That's
di ba
a
kaso yan?
criminal
Alam niyo,
charge
abogado kayo, Kong, di ba? So kung totoo na mapapatunayan na falsified, kung totoo based sa investigasyon ng signature ng NBI, whether sa tingin nyo ay immaterial yon, that will be falsification. So yung kanyang buong testimony, baka tamaan. Sabi ko, baka. No?
That's the point
Well,
of
Sec,
the notary.
unang-una sa lahat, kanina nga, yung tanong mo, sabi mo, di ba? Bakit niya ipa-falsify yung document niya na pwede naman niyang hindi na notaryo? So, yun lang ang gusto kong ilinaw. Kasi, yung substance ng sinabi niya, klaro naman yun sa Senado. Ngayon, yung pag-imbestiga ng falsification document, 1,000% welcome na welcome ako dyan dahil ang paniwala ko, pinresyo ng notaryo para sabihin yun, para i-discredit si Sergeant Gutesa. Huwag na tayo maglokohan. May mga nag-ooperate dyan para talagang tirahin nila si Gutesa. Pero makikita nila in the end, at maganda nga yung imbestigahan nila, na hindi si Gutesa ang nagsisinungaling at totoo lahat yung nandun sa kanyang affidavit. Simpleng journal of entry, nandun yun yung stamp. 'Di ba? Yung lugar na yun 24/7 at sinabi ko nga meron kayong telepono diyan, i-Google ninyo, makikita ninyo yung pirma doon kay Gutesa at yung pirma doon sa taong yon sa iba pang kontrata parehong-pareho. In fact, I have it with me right now.
Yes.
Ngayon, si Gutesa kasi wala namang official na patawag sa kanya. Wala. Hindi siya pinatawag ng Senado, hindi siya pinatawag ng DOJ, hindi siya pinatawag ng NBI. So gusto ko lang yung point na parang hindi siya umatin. Hindi po, wala po siyang patawag. After the Senate committee hearing natapos na.
Sir, we have it on good authority. He's going to get invited to the next Senate hearing. That was confirmed to us by Senator Ping Lacson. Now, I want to ask,
Okay.
why do you think sa'yo dinaan si Orly Gutesa?
Because I think alam niya na kilala ko si Senator Marcoleta. Because at that time, when he told me the first story, si Senator Marcoleta was the chairman then. Nung
So you're
umattend na
close
siya,
to Senator Marcoleta?
Senator Marcoleta, nagbago na. It was the day,
yeah. So you're
the
close
day
to,
after, if I'm not mistaken.
So you're close to Senator Marcoleta?
Ever since, when I was in Congress, yes.
Okay, so clearly until now, because sa'yo nga dinaan, because you have connections to Senator Marcoleta.
Yes.
Okay, why, he was a surprise witness, no? He wasn't on the docket that day. That's why
Yes.
everybody calls him a surprise witness. Why did it have to be like that? Ba't hindi na lang siya in-announce beforehand?
Kasi, from what I understand, may hearing sila that day, and then si Senator Marcoleta requested Senator Ping Lacson if he can present a witness. So parang ganun yung nangyari ata. So he was presented then, and he was allowed. Si Gutesa was allowed to give his statement.
Yeah, but he was presented during the hearing na not before. Hindi nasabihan basically si Senator Ping Lacson that there was a surprise witness.
So,
That's my point.
Yeah.
Hindi naman ano yun. Again, in the committee deliberations, that is very immaterial. Kasi if the committee chairman will allow, and the committee allows it, unless sinabi ni chairman, huwag ka mag-present dito, i-vet muna natin yan, then ganun yung mangyayari. Ito pakita ko lang po to. Para, ito, post ni Attorney Makalintal. Ayan mismo, pareho ng pirma, yung petition niya. Sorry, nakikita ba?
Oh, sir, hindi
Sir,
makita.
nakakroma kayo, sir, eh. So,
Hindi
it
makita.
disappears.
pero,
Yeah. Sorry. So,
Pero-
ito yung kay Makalintal. Tawa nga ako ng tawa. Pareho dun sa kay Gutesa na
pero,
ano.
pero kung,
statement.
ang mahalaga kasi rito yung forensics ng signature.
Correct.
Dahil ako
Correct.
rin, nung cabinet secretary ako, may nakita ako mga signatures ko na parehas. Na humihingi ng 10% sa mga project sa mga mayors. No?
Agree.
Ibig sabihin,
No, but sa
pareho.
ang
Dahil
point
madali
natin
naman
dito
yung
ay-
i-forge eh. No? Kaya ako mismo natawa eh. Ba't ako may signature dito? No? Asking
Yes.
openly for 10% sa projects. Natawa ako ron. Ibig sabihin, sinasabi ko lang,
And that's-
Kong, ang mahalaga kasi ay may forensic na na investigation dun mismo sa signature, but because it can be forged.
Also,
that's
kung
why-
alam mo, sir,
Totoo, gawin nila yun. Tingnan nila sinong nang loloko at sino ang nasa likod nung pagpa-discredit kay Gutesa. Pero mas importante sa akin, kunin nila yung substance sa sinabi ni Gutesa. Nasaan yung 90 na nakaisaldi ko na nagdi-deliver ng pera, patawag nila. Nasaan si Mark Texay?
Yeah.
Nasaan si Paul Estrada? Tama yun, imbestigahan nila yun. But what is material to us as Filipinos, malaman ng bawat mamayang Pilipino, totoo ba itong nagdi-deliver ng pera? Saan lang galing itong perang to? Ito ba yung sinasabing basura ay galing sa flood control ghost projects? Dahil bilyon-bilyon ang nawawalang pera
Tsaka
sa ating
mahalaga
bansa.
kung ang sinasabi nyo, hindi siya nagtatago.
Hindi siya
Anytime
nagtatago.
pwede siyang lumabas, lumantad.
Yes.
Basta pinatawag
Yes.
siya either ng DOJ, NBI, Senate Blue Ribbon, no? Yun ang sinasabi nyo ngayon.
Yes.
Well, papatawag naman
Lalabas
siya
na.
next week. Yes. Sorry, November 14, assuming that Senator Ping Lacson becomes Blue Ribbon Committee Chair again. And by the way, also, sorry, Congressman, pero I have to set the record straight kasi nakakausap din namin yung the other side, the other parties to this. It's also not true na hindi nila investigahan what Gutesa said. In fact, Senator Ping Lacson himself told us kukunin nila yung ledger. What do they call it? Yung journal where yung to verify the
Dalago.
claims about the truck coming in and out of the house of
Alam mo,
former Speaker
okay yan.
Romualdez.
Mag-concentrate, patawag nila yung notaryo.
Correct.
Reg.
So may investigations naman to based on the Gutesa's testimony. So it is happening. It's not true that it's not happening.
It's not happening, Reg. They haven't called the 90 people that are assigned. May 7 pulis na active police na nasa PSPG, hindi nila pinapatawag. Merong mga taga-Air Force, itong mga ex-Marines, basta total of 90, wala pa silang pinatawag doon. Yung si Paul Estrada, dapat yun, may warrant na yun sa Senate. Dapat yun, nagkaroon na sila ng subpoena para
So-
itong dalawang to magsalita.
Nawala kasi si Senator Ping Lacson kung sa head ng Blue Ribbon eh.
For a few weeks.
Presumably, mag-a-assume lang siya sa middle of November.
So
Pero ang tanong ko si Ronald, bakit yung ledger ang Sige, imbestigahan nila. Pero okay yan, yung ledger, kung sino to. Pero ito po ng substance natin, mas critical to sa atin eh.
Yeah.
yes. Congressman, you seem so fired up about this. What's your interest in this? Kasi sabi mo, 'di ba, bumalik ka na sa private sector.
Because, Reg, I hate it pag may gumagawa ng spin sa storya na bansa na natin ang nakataya. Diba? Ayoko talaga ma-involve. Ayoko, 1,000%. I don't want to be involved. Nung si Gutesa nagsalita, nung sinabi niya to, hindi ko alam ang gagawin ko kung ilalabas ko siya kay Marcoleta at madadamay na naman ako. Ngayon, nung nagsalita na siya na, hindi ko nakita to, yung mga sundalong kasama ko, may isa pa daw na galit kasi binahanga yung pamilya para sa bansa na huto. Di ba parang, kung gusto natin talagang tingnan kung anong nangyari, tingnan nila lahat ng sinabi ni Alcantara, ni Bernardo, ni Diskaya, ni Gutesa. At kailangan tanggalin na yung storya na gusto nilang palabasin. Wala nang ganun, wala dapat Pink, walang Duterte, walang ano talaga yung storya dito? Gutesa is saying may pera siyang dinideliver. Ito yung mga tao na kasama niya. Patawag nila. Ngayon magdidebate tayo sa notaryo. Hindi ko maintindihan nyo. Okay, sige,
Kasi-
later on, ayusin natin to. Pero ang importante makuha natin, nasan yung mga taong yan at totoo ba itong sinasabi nila?
Yes, correct. And again, coming back to the point, yung issue with the notary kasi speaks to his credibility. But anyways, sorry to ask the last question very bluntly, but nobody is pushing you to do this, to be involved in this flood control investigation, sir. Kasi yun yung
I
sinasabi
think
ng iba.
it is now the responsibility. Hindi ako nagmamalines. Ayan, Sec Ronald, nagsilbi tayong dalawa sa gobyerno. Wala akong pagmamalines. I'm not saying that I did this, I did that, I'm not like this, I'm not like that. Grabe na ang nangyari sa bansa natin. Ibang klase na yung korupsyon. Ibang klase na yung nakawan. Dapat naman may managot. Dapat naman ayusin na natin tong bansa natin. Kailangan nating i-reboot yung nangyari dahil pasama ng pasama ang sitwasyon. It's about time. And we have seen this, trilyon-trilyon pera, hindi lang bilyon, trilyong pera ang nawawala. We have to resolve this issue. May dapat maparusahan.
Yeah.
Hindi dapat mga scapegoat ang mangyari dito o script ng grupong ito o grupong ganito. Lahat ng dapat managot ay managot.
And again, you're doing this on your own accord. You're not part of any group. You talked about a reboot. Mukhang
Magkikita ba tayo, Kong, sa November 30? Pupunta ka ba ron?
Hindi ko pa alam. I'm doing my own pero you know, Reg, to say that somebody's behind me, I
No,
don't
no, no.
need
I'm
anyone
just
to be
asking.
behind me.
Yeah, I'm just asking.
I don't. Yeah, I don't need anyone to be behind me. I was with the president during the elections. I was with Inday and Inday Sara, BBM and Inday Sara during the elections. And I think what is happening now to the country, the corruption, whether Inday, whether BBM, they should look into that. Etong trilyon-trilyong pera na sinasabi, hindi lang to sa flood control. Pero dapat unahin to dahil ito yung malinaw na ghost project at alam ng lahat dyan malaki ang kickback. Marami pa hong ahensya ng gobyerno ang grabe na naging korupsyon. Dati, may sindikato, maliliit. Ngayon, gobyerno na naging sindikato.
Okay, we will leave that there. Thank you so much for talking to us, former Congressman Mike
Thank you.
Defensor. We appreciate your time.
Salamat, Kong.
Thank you, sir.
Sana makabalik
Salamat
ka pagkatapos ng unang Blue Ribbon, no, na ipapatawag yata si Gutesa.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Thank you po,
We'll talk to you
Sec
then
Reg,
again.
and of course, Ed. Maraming salamat.
Unfortunately, that's all the time we have for StoryCon. Thank you so much for joining us. Ronald Llamas, a resident political pundit na nakakap pa rin until now. Join
Ano
us again.
nagbabago? Sa simula, heckler, tapos sa ending, pandit, no?
Join us again tomorrow 4 p.m. for StoryCon. I'm Regina Lay.
I'm Ed Lingao, kapatid. We are One News, all sides, all the time.
This is the Story Conference Group or the StoryCon Group.